Today, we're going to explore something called the traffic light processing framework. Now, I know that sounds a bit technical, but it's actually a really powerful and simple way to understand our inner world. Think of it as a map for our feelings, our thoughts, and our reactions, a way to see what's happening inside and, crucially, why it's happening.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever just reacted? You've said or done something in a split second, and almost immediately you've thought, oh, I wish I could take that back. That moment when your gut reaction just completely flies past your rational brain? Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to get to the bottom of. You see, those moments aren't as random as they feel. They're actually part of a pretty predictable process happening inside your brain and your body. And by using a simple metaphor, a journey in a car, we can start to make sense of that internal landscape and maybe even navigate it a bit better. Right. So the first of four key elements we're looking at today is the car itself. Let's think of this as the very engine of your entire system. It's the vehicle you're traveling in every single day. In this framework, the car is your nervous system. It's the absolute foundation of everything you experience, and it reflects how your body is functioning, physically and physiologically, at any given moment. It's basically the vehicle that's carrying you through life. And your nervous system is doing so much work in the background all the time. It's constantly managing your heart rate, your breathing, the tension in your muscles, even your hormones. It's the thing that's regulating your body's energy levels 24/7. So you can see how this system is the absolute bedrock of how you experience the world, right? Okay, so every car needs a driver. And in our framework, the driver represents your center of choice. It's the part of you that can consciously grab the steering wheel and decide which way to go. Fundamentally, we tend to operate in two different modes. We can run on autopilot, where our reactions are just old habits, they're instant, they're subconscious. Or we can make an intentional choice, one that's considered, reflective, and fully conscious. And it's the driver's job to make that choice. Now, if we're talking about the brain, the driver is your prefrontal cortex. This is the part of your brain that's in charge of what scientists call executive functions. It's what allows for complex decision-making, for impulse control, and for the ability to make a deliberate, intentional choice rather than just a knee-jerk automatic reaction. So, we've got our car and our driver. But as we travel down the road, we're going to encounter signals, and these are our internal traffic lights. Just think of these traffic lights as your brain's incredibly fast alert system. They are constantly scanning your environment, both what's happening around you and inside you, for any signs of threats or uncertainty or just sudden change. They're your biological early warning system. To get a bit more specific, these lights represent your amygdala and the wider limbic system. That's your brain's threat detection center. And this is so important. These lights don't make decisions. They just signal a shift. They flash a warning that something has changed, often long before your conscious mind, the driver, has even had time to realize what's going on. And that brings us to a really critical point in our journey, where the car, the driver, and the traffic lights all come together. We call this the junction. The junction is that split-second moment where the automatic, super-fast signal from the traffic lights meets the slower, more considered ability of the driver. It really is the moment of decision. It's the fork in the road. So at this junction, we're faced with two paths. We can react on autopilot, just letting that flashing light send us down an old, well-worn, habitual road without a second thought. Or we can engage the driver. We can actually pause, even for a fraction of a second, and consciously choose a new, more intentional direction. So let's just quickly pull together those four foundational elements of the traffic light processing framework that we've covered so far. So to recap, the car is your underlying physiological state, which is all managed by your nervous system. The driver is your capacity for conscious choice, and that's seated in your prefrontal cortex. The traffic lights are your amygdala's rapid threat signals. And the junction? Well, that's that crucial moment of decision. Now, understanding these four elements is a huge first step. But believe it or not, our journey with this framework is really just beginning. There are other signs on the road that help to explain our inner world even more, and we'll definitely be exploring those next time. For now, the question to leave you with is this. When you arrive at a junction, who's in control, the signal or the driver?